What's up, y'all? It is your boy, Sad Boy Music, back at it with another video. This time, we're gonna take a look at my top 5, including some honorable mentions, favorite songs off of my latest release, my album called The Path To Enlightenment. Link down below to stream on all platforms. Give it a listen. It's definitely better music than my first album. That's what I could say. So I have a little paper note with me, and the first one I don't even need the paper note for, but I looked at it anyway, is River Styx. Is my favorite song off the entire album by a long shot. I love it. Dark, depressing, moody vibes. There is a video on the YouTube of me creating this song in FL Studio. I just like it the most. There's a lot of elements. I like the piano. I like that the bass is super low and heavy. I like that little siren sound effects. That massive low end on there. One thing I will say for sure that I like the most, I like that before the hook there is this drum thing, that do-do-doom thing, whatever, it's cymatics loop or whatever that I processed and play with the timing on. But you'll hear the way that bass comes in at the beginning of those hooks. I love it the most. I also love all the different arpeggio things on there. There is this little slidey synth that is auto-panned. That is a signature sound in my music. I've come to realize this about myself. I guarantee it is some form of neurodivergence or autism or some bullshit like that, but I love an arpeggio sound that is auto-panned across ears. I don't know why. I can't explain it. It tickles the brain, tickles the ears just the right way. The whole album has a moment like this because I didn't know how to write bridges and I'm still like learning all kinds of stuff, so I just kind of did a super filter effect thing there. I love the muted bass sound on this section because it's taking over the mix. There is an issue with the audio file on the official Final Master with this outro thing. Yeah, wait, was that it? That little bloop. That is an issue with SoundToys effect rack and running it on my mix bus when I was making the song to have it affect the whole beat. Dumbass part on my part, and also not properly like fading out the final audio and leaving that tail out at the end completely missed me in every stage of working on the song until it was like right about to be uploaded, and I was like, fuck. So that's something there. My next favorite is the exact opposite vibes, and you're gonna see that it's the same thing with my old album in terms of my top 5 favorite, where the first one is a little bit darker, moodier, and more aggressive. The second one is very opposite vibes. This one is called Arcade Sorrows. This is my favorite for same thing with the arpeggio sound, but this one's brighter, happier, more expressive, and I think it's still in a minor key anyway. I just love the vibes on that. These two are my favorite by far compared to the rest of the album. Now, one thing that is my favorite part about this song, I love this. The very end, the last time it goes back around, it jumps up an octave and you hear that energy shift. I love stuff like that, and that's part of why the arpeggio aspect, because it's shifting up an octave but it's still moving and auto panning, tickles the brain just right. I do like the open, empty feeling of this verse in a sense that it's like, you know, I try to I'm trying to learn more about my own production style like that. I'll explain a little bit more about that open emptiness comment that I just made. But the next thing is going to be Dungeon Crawlers. This one I like because it's instant vibes. I hear that initial synth and I'm thinking of an old retro video game. I'm thinking like NES era, like Zelda 2 that nobody played. Kind of sound and vibes going there. There's one song I wish I could say sounded this good. Same thing you're gonna hear, arpeggio, auto pan, tickles the brain just right. Very consistent theme for me. Open moments like that on the verses. I try to have more stuff like that in my music. Nowadays when I'm making music, I'm trying to have more moments where things can kind of die down, swell down, because I've noticed that there is an aspect very clear from my neurodivergence that's apparent in my music. The way I word vomit like I am on camera right now to all of y'all, doing that with my music, with a million different things all happening at once. In terms of honorable mention, Dracula's Coffin, I wish sounded as good as Dungeon Crawlers. I'm not fucking heavy with this synth. It immediately sounds like what it's supposed to. Those sounds are supposed to evoke that vampiric Dracula energy, but it's not doing it for me. That super high pitched synth, I love that. The bass is very cringe, especially on the hook. See, moments like this sounds like a vampire kind of energy. This bass does that jank ass slide. I laughed at it every second that I was working on the song. I felt so stupid. I don't know, some part of me just liked it. It was stupid, but I liked it. And so I just committed to it. Just commit to it. This mix is very much so bass lacking, which hopefully helps balance out with the fact that River Styx is so bass emphasized. But man, the top end on this, there's like way too much air on this. And I know part of it was my generic mixing mastering chain. I was boosting a lot of top end with certain plugins and EQs and stuff like that. And I don't do any of that processing anymore. I would definitely change that now. Yeah, like that snare thing is like way too top end heavy. That like very high pitched synth. It's not that it's too high frequency based, but it's just too loud in the mix. And the delay effect that you're supposed to really hear, that like half note echo of it, is just not prominent enough. Next thing that is qualifying is Mangekyo, which these three songs all together should have been combined to one and just taken elements from them. Warlock Fight, The Fight, and Mangekyo. But the reason this one won out is just that melody, which that is the issue with the two. That melody is the same throughout. This one you're about to hear right here. This melody plays throughout the whole song, does not change once, does not do anything unique. But I do like the way that bass is grooving on there and these drums. That melody, when I originally wrote it, it gave me the feelings of like a close bond that ended in betrayal. I don't know how to express that. I don't know how to fucking phrase that. I don't know how to even explain the emotions that were evoked out of me as I was sitting there, mouse and keyboard, trying to figure it out. But it felt a certain way, and then I just immediately made me think of like Sasuke's betrayal with Naruto, not to be cringe. And of course, that is why it is now called Mangekyo as a song. Now, let's go back for a quick second. One thing I have learned about production and all that I try to incorporate more so going forward with my music stuff, having more moments like that, but having moments where everything dies down, stuff like that, just little tiny bits, whether it's like a half note like that or whatever. That's one thing I learned from this song, because I remember like cutting all the stuff out and just leaving that melody there and then hearing that emptiness, that space right there, right here, and being like, oh shit, I feel something, give me goosebumps the first time or whatever, which it doesn't do that now, but there's songs that every time you hear a certain moment or whatever, you will always get those goosebumps. This wasn't that, but this was a stepping stone towards working towards making that in my own music. And so that's a very important thing I would very heavily recommend when you work on making music or movies and production and video and all that stuff. Whenever you go to create something like that, make sure you leave time and space for moments like that. Look at honorable mention style kind of stuff going on here. The Fight, I love that wow synth, but also the bass sound on there, like the kind of wow almost pedal sounding thing going on in the bass. Those drums there where it's kind of stuttering towards the end, those like fills and stuff like that I really should have incorporated more in combining with Mangekyo with that whole melodic aspect and those top melodies and feeling that betrayal. That little just as this moment that pops up there. Yeah, I think this is one of the songs that doesn't have an arpeggio in it. Warlock Fight. This one almost made the list. I really like this one. The way it has that dun 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 kind of thing going on there. The same thing with the bass there. If I took more of that melody aspect with the bass that has a wow sound and all that, combined elements from those, I do love that the verses are so like open and spacious like that, but the way it goes straight back into that dun 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 dun. I love the drums more on this, like some of the drums from this song Warlock Fight and The Fight, you know, putting those together, definitely scratching the whole drum idea from Mangekyo. If I had combined those three songs, put them all together, I think I would have ended up with a song that was like really amazing and even like worth like singing and putting vocals on and all that. That's not the way things played out. Honorable mention type thing. Dun, 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 dun. I really liked that element of that verse right there. And then last thing we're going to look at is Midnight Meandering, the song that wishes it could be like that Mysterious Night. This is another honorable mention kind of thing. I wish it was closer to what Midnight Meandering is. But this one has the arpeggio. It is a slightly different energy, but I feel like it works well as being like kind of a little bit of a lead up to River Styx. This one has a much better bass, but it's not the full energy I wanted. And I feel like maybe if I would have combined Mysterious Night and this song, I would have gotten something real good out of it. This one's Midnight Meandering. This one I liked more because that piano is just really hitting. Fun fact, the original piano synth that I had used for this song when I swapped over from my old computer that's sitting over there to my new one that is my main station, I could no longer access the exact plugin that I had that I got a million years ago, and it doesn't exist anymore. It was 88 by Sonibox. It was the best sounding piano plugin I've ever had. To be fair, I don't have Keyscape. I don't pay for Keyscape. I don't have it. This song, the melodic aspect of it won out over Mysterious Night, but Mysterious Night, in my opinion, had the better sounds to them. I had to use a different piano sound for this song when I went to like make the final version of it, and I felt bad because I could not recapture, I don't even know how to explain it, the same energy I got from that plugin that I used. To this day, I haven't found a good replacement for it. I mean, I have the piano plugins and stuff that I use, but there was a certain thing, I can't even explain it, and this was so long ago. This was years and years and years ago. Bruh. So, you know, I can't even explain it. But yeah, that plugin, it no longer exists. You can no longer buy it. You can no longer download it or anything like that. So it kind of just sucks. It's like lost the time to be able to port it, but I'm not hopeful for it. I'm not bright for it. I'm not looking for it. I don't care. It is what it is. I was just sad because that piano is not, it just never hit the same. It never hit the same without that. That being said, I wish Mysterious Night was a little bit more like this, because it just had the better sounds, but not the better musicality to it. That is everything for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. These were my top 5 favorite songs and some honorable mentions off of my most recent release, which is the album The Path To Enlightenment, available on all streaming services, linked down below. Go ahead and stream it. Same thing as with the first album, entirely instrumental, great background music to listen to just again in the background while you're doing your thing, and leave a comment below as to what your favorite song was and why. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this, learning what my personal preferences were for the album and some of the things I've learned and some of the background information. Like River Styx, you can watch live stream of that on YouTube and stuff like that. Anyway, have a great rest of your day, night, evening, afternoon, whatever it may be, and take care. It is your boy, Sad Boy, signing off. I will catch y'all on the flip. I don't know why I'm still doing finger guns in the year of 2025. I am just cringe and awkward. Oh, sorry, need to hit a stretch. Not the double peace sign too. Oh my lord.